Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1531A, and today's date is March 28th, 2018, and the title of the episode is Central Banks Are Now Panicking. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, the economy is declining very rapidly, and we've been looking at all the indicators, and indicators are pointing towards a recession or something much, much worse than that. And we know what that's going to be. It's going to be a collapse on the entire system. Now, the central bankers know this. Trump knows this. They realize that this system is coming down, and there's no way to fix it. This is a central banking system. It is designed and developed to basically crash and burn at a certain point. That's where we are right now. There's nothing else they can do to fix this. So what is happening right now is we are seeing all these economic indicators basically showing us that we're already in a recession, probably heading towards a deep depression. And what they're doing right now is continually manipulating the economy to keep everything operational, to make people believe that everything is fine, and they manipulate GDP, they manipulate unemployment, they manipulate pretty much everything to make us believe everything is fine. Now, the stock market is a huge, gigantic manipulation. And what we're seeing right now is the manipulation is about to end. Now, when we look at all these different economic indicators, we see like home sales, they're down 4.4% year over year. And the housing market is continually declining. If we look at the pending home sales year over year since 2014, as we came out of the Great Recession, it's been declining ever since, because what they did was they pumped it up. They pumped up as much as they possibly can, and now it is not working anymore. The central bankers, they realize this. They realize that everything that they've done is not working, and everything is starting to fall apart very rapidly. That's why they are now pushing interest rates up. Now, the LIBOR is continually moving up and up and up, and as they continually move the interest rates up, we're going to see problems in the real estate market, the auto loan industry, the student loan industry, and you're going to see a lot of things completely go wrong. Now, when we look at what is happening here, we understand that Trump has already implemented tariffs. We can see that he canceled the TPP, NAFTA's in negotiations, and he's looking to get rid of all these like globalist trade type of systems and go into bilateral trades between countries, because he realizes that this is the approach that the United States needs to take. And what he needs to do right now is he needs to control the narrative of the collapsing economy, and basically then make a move to get rid of the central bank. So what we're seeing right now with everything that is going on, we can see this is where he is headed. And we already see that out in Europe, they're short dollars. It looks like we're heading towards a liquidity crisis. We also see right now, because of what's happening with Facebook, that we are running into other problems. Think about this for a second. The FTC now is looking into Facebook. The stocks are taking a dive. Q has told us that it's not just going to be Facebook. It's going to be Twitter. It's going to be Amazon. It's going to be Google. And we need to understand what makes up the stock market. The FANG stocks: Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google. Now, if Facebook stocks start to dive, what happens? If Amazon stocks start to dive, what happens? If Google stocks start to decline, what happens? They all take a dive. What happens to the market? Well, the entire system implodes. So what we're seeing right now is Facebook, their stocks are declining. Amazon, since there was a mention that Trump was going after Amazon, they started to decline. And we see that as the FANGs start to decline, that's going to bring the market down. This is just another piece to the puzzle. And as we move forward, we're going to see that Trump is maneuvering right now to show the world that this is completely manipulated the entire system, which is controlled by the central bank, is an economy that has been manipulated since the very beginning. And we can see right now that as we move forward, he's going to maneuver and take over the narrative of what the economy is doing. Now, the central banks, they are panicking right now. They are panicking and they're very nervous about what is happening. There's already signs coming out of Q saying that Trump wants to nationalize the Fed, that the petro-yuan and the gold standard is going to be the death of the petrodollar, which means it's going to be the death of the Fed. And we can see by doing all of this and by bringing down the system, you can reset it. Now, the IMF is out there, and we said that they were setting up a rainy day fund just in case there was some type of global economic crisis. They would have something to help the banking systems in the European Union and throughout the world. Well, the IMF right now, they are looking to Germany, and they want 10 billion euro a year from Germany. And they want something like $100 billion for the pot to protect all these banks and everything else from what is coming. So they're already preparing. They already know what's going to happen here. And I think they don't realize what the big picture is going to be. I don't think they realize the scope of all this on what Trump, Xi Jinping, Putin, what they are preparing to do. They're preparing to get rid of the central bank, to get rid of the Federal Reserve, to cut off the deep state, to cut off pretty much everything. And that's what we're seeing right now. Think about what is happening at this time. Everyone was looking at the stock market. Everyone thought, whoa, the stock market is going to continually move up and up and up. Once you start hitting Facebook, once you start hitting Google, once you start hitting Amazon, once you start doing all of this stuff, it brings the market down. And this is what we are seeing. And it's going to continually decline because as the FTC investigates Facebook and people lose confidence in Facebook, and then the FTC says, okay, let's start looking at other social media giants. Let's start looking at Amazon. Let's look at Microsoft. Let's look at Google. Let's look at YouTube. Well, this is the tech sector. And the stocks will decline. This will bring down the stock market. And what are they going to say? I mean, how would you manipulate this to make it look like that this isn't happening? What can the central bankers do, even if they have a button to push? If all these tech companies are being investigated and the market starts to come down, yes, they can push a button and push these stocks back up, but that would be ridiculous because people would say, well, wait a minute, they're all in investigation. They're being looked into. People are pulling out of there. Zuckerberg and the rest, they're selling their stocks. Facebook might be broken up. I mean, think about what is happening here right now. Everything is being put into place to control the narrative, to bring down the system, and it's being done one part at a time. And when you start putting all these pieces together, you can see how this is being done. I mean, first with tariffs, with reciprocal taxes, by getting rid of all the globalist framework that was put into place, by setting up bilateral trades, and a lot of this is also being done for after the reset. We also see a liquidity crisis. We also see the Middle East, where the petro-yuan will start to take over and the petrodollar will be dumped. We see that China and Russia has amassing a huge amount of gold to build confidence, to protect the petro-yuan and to protect the new system. So people say, okay, you know something? Let me see what the U.S. has compared to what China and Russia have. They have the One Belt, One Road. They have the manufacturing. They have all the gold. They have this petro-yuan. They have the payment systems. They have the exchanges. They have everything they need to take on a brand new system. What does the U.S. have? Well, they have no gold. The U.S. has a huge amount of debt. Countries are dumping the treasuries dumping the petrodollar. Confidence is being lost. And right now, we see that the entire system is being dismantled right in front of our eyes. And we're going to see a lot more of this as we move forward. So we're going to see the stock market decline. We're going to see a liquidity crisis. We're going to see a credit crunch. We're going to see the petrodollar being dumped. We're going to see dollars heading back here to the United States. If that happens, that means there's going to be a devaluation in the dollar. That means we're going to see inflation, and eventually it'll turn into hyperinflation. We're going to see gold move up. Yes, they're going to try to slam it down. Yes, they're going to try to control it. The central banks are going to think that they still have the ability to do what they've been doing in the past, but they will eventually lose control, and you will definitely see that happen, because all of a sudden you'll see gold, silver, even the cryptocurrency, which they're trying to control right now in the paper market. You will see all of this start to rise. And when you see gold, silver start to move up $20, $30, $40, $50 per ounce, you know something is about to break, because we've already seen all the indicators. We've already seen the proof that this economy is dead in the water. And this whole thing is one gigantic manipulation. And the manipulation is about to break. And it looks like Trump, the Patriots, looks like they're going to be controlling the narrative. Now, don't get me wrong. The central bank, they will never give up. They've been around for thousands of years. I mean, yes, here in this country since 1913, they've been around, but they've been around before that period of time. In other countries going back many, 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 many years, they never give up. They always want the control, and they will do whatever it takes to keep that control. And this is what we've been watching. This is what we've been looking at. So we are headed towards this gigantic reset. We're headed towards this transition. The takedown of the system has already started. And as we move forward, it's going to get worse and worse before it gets better. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.